The Green Bay Packers couldn't get it done. I thought they would. I think we both thought they would against the Tennesse Titans. For all intents and purposes, they were playing for their season. Of course, they're not mathematically eliminated. But at 4-7, and just keeping it real, playing very poor football. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games. Some of those games to just flat out mediocre, if not bad, football teams. I believe they're done. Won't make the playoffs. Heck, if they somehow, Rob, make the playoffs, that means they got incredibly hot. They probably won out, or at least won 5 of their last 6. And that means they would be playing well in an NFC that's kind of open. So I guess you'd give them a shot, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think they're going to do anything of note this season. And I will say this too, Rob, and I'll admit there's a part of me that's like, it might come back to bite you, but I'm going out there anyway. I think Aaron Rodgers, Rob, no longer in that ultra elite category of quarterbacks. He is now, with a bunch of talent, he could be good, but he is falling off. I won't say washed, because I think he still could be effective at times, but he is no longer elite. And it's not just a reaction to last night when he was missing throws left and right. It's all season. He's having certainly his worst season since his first year as a starter, and maybe even worse than that. Career low, 230 yards a game passing. And, Rob, Aaron Rodgers has gone 16 straight games without throwing for 300 yards. So the Aaron Rodgers we've all come to know and love, and one of the all-time greats, has fallen off. And 39 years old in a couple weeks is what he'll be. That's when it happens. Peyton Manning was 39 when he all of a sudden went from having a terrific year to getting benched during the season. Tom Brady has just been an aberration, and some people think, well, that means Rodgers and others have plenty more years left, but he doesn't. That's my take on Aaron Rodgers and these Packers.
Yeah, I think it's a prisoner of the moment take. You should have had that take last week when he threw the 3 touchdowns and they beat Dallas. I think it would have been a stronger take at that point, because then you would have said, I'm not buying into what he did. I still don't think he's good. We saw Brady in his last.
What was my take?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just
asking what it was.
No, I'm saying that would have been a stronger take. I'm just saying, rather than off of a bad game, and he played bad. I don't remember, but he played a bad game yesterday. And
yesterday
played a bad game because he just missed throws, and I agree with you.
All season.
But the last 2 years in New England for Tom Brady, 65% completion ratio, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, quarterback rating 97.7. That was 1 year. The other year, 60, dropped to 60%, 24 touchdowns, 8, and a quarterback rating of 88. This season, Rodgers, 64%, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 93.2. So is it impossible for a guy to regroup and get back to playing the football that he's used to? I'm not saying he's going to win another MVP, but can he play better? Yes. Can receivers be better? Yeah, of course he is. Yes, yes he is. Right. Unless, because if he's not elite, I'd like to know how many guys are really elite. Is Josh Allen?
Only a handful.
How many guys? Let me hear.
Josh Allen.
Josh
Patrick
Allen
Mahomes.
is still elite.
Absolutely.
Even though he's thrown like 6 picks in the red zone the last 2 weeks. Okay, so he's elite.
Absolutely.
So bad game for him.
He scored 24.
So
of
bad
his
game
team.
for him doesn't mean anything.
This isn't a bad game for Rodgers. It's a bad season.
Yes, but there's also no offensive line, Chris. There's the receiving core. And the best receiver he's ever had.
When he was elite, he could carry
was also
receivers.
taken from him. I'm just saying, I'm looking at it in a whole picture. And
What
I'm not
picture,
saying
like what?
like the whole thing, because I don't think it's
the
just
season?
I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's a combination of a lot. And I don't care who you are as a quarterback, if you don't get time or you don't, and the same thing with the passing yards. They run the football that's what they want to do. They run the football. Last week he threw 20 times. You could look at some of these games where they want to run the football and not throw because I don't think they feel they have the receivers to go downfield. I think that gives a defense a great advantage against you when they know you don't have any weapons downfield. I'm not afraid of you burning me downfield. You got young, inexperienced guys who have dropped balls. You don't have Devontae Adams out there to bail you out. And so I can come for you knowing it's either going to be a run, and even last night, their running backs couldn't even get out of the backfield. So I think that there's a combination of things. Has he played well? Absolutely not. He's played bad this year. But to say he's done or he's not elite, I disagree with that. I think he's had a bad year, but he's still an elite quarterback.
You say he's through 20 times, and you call me a prisoner of the moment. That was one game. The week before that, he threw 43. Last night, he threw 39. He threw 41 against the Jets, 35 against Washington, 39 against the Giants. I mean, that was one game. He threw 20 games.
Was Brady still elite his last 2 years in New England or not?
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl. He was elite.
He was elite?
He beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC title game.
Oh, yeah.
He was elite.
Yeah, but was he elite or did they cheat or did they get a break?
I don't know about it. If you know something about cheating, break some news. All I know is he was elite. He won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
And got to 2 straight AFC title games.
So it doesn't matter what your numbers are if you have a number 5 defense that got him there, right? It's just about he won. The same way he won the Super Bowl.
Part of it.
No, same way he won the Super Bowl against the Rams with no touchdowns and 190 yards, but he won a Super Bowl.
But
he won the league.
Was he elite when he
I'm asking you. I'm
telling you. You asked me and I answered you.
I'm telling you that
he was elite. He was making throws.
It's too easy to be a prisoner of the moment.
Prisoner
and that's what
you
are.
Moment? I'm going the whole season, Rob Parker.
Last night.
This ain't off last night. I told you a whole season.
No, Chris, you didn't tell me that after they beat Dallas. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, that doesn't mean he wasn't.
No, but I'm just saying anybody could. You're like,
I'm not Rob.
Your typical Chris Broussard is like he went to the Grand Canyon and said, "Hey, look, there's a hole in the ground." That's the take you just gave. Coming off a bad game like that.
Okay, let me see. If I went to the Grand Canyon, if anybody went to the Grand Canyon and said there's a hole in the ground, everybody that went to the Grand Canyon would say there's a hole in the ground. But yet you're sitting here saying Aaron Rodgers is still elite.
I'm telling you.
No, let me finish. I listen to you. You're saying we disagree. So if it's obvious, why would we disagree? You think he's still elite. I think he's not elite, so it's not obvious. Because you still think he's elite.
Yeah,
so I'm going off the whole season, Rob. Yes, he had a good game against Dallas. So what? Nobody did I come on the air and say, oh my gosh, Aaron Rodgers is back. Watch out. Here he comes. No.
Chris,
I still thought they would not make the playoffs.
Chris, you're the same guy who stumped over and over about Dak Prescott. About that he was on his way or he was elite.
Dak Prescott
I just want to talk about.
Am I still saying he's elite?
Chris.
Do we really want to do this? Because you're the same guy that in 2012 said Tom Brady would never win another Super Bowl.
I'm just telling you that it's hard for me.
He's done.
That it's hard for me.
It's hard for me to listen to you.
It's hard for me to buy into.
Because you said Tom Brady was not elite in 2012.
It's hard for me to buy, but Dak Prescott was never elite. That's where you're wrong. Dak Prescott was never elite.
I'm not saying I'm always right.
I didn't say that. I'm wrong too, but I'm just saying.
Oh, were you wrong about Tom Brady?
No, I was not wrong about Tom Brady.
In 2012, you weren't wrong.
I was not wrong about Tom Brady.
He's won 4 Super Bowls since then, Rob. How could you not be wrong? You say never win
Because
another
I told
Super Bowl.
you, A, that they cheated, and B, they've been very lucky. That's why he's the low.
But you didn't say he'll
he's
only
been
win a Super Bowl if he
lucky.
gets lucky.
He's been lucky.
You said he'll never win another Super Bowl.
He was lucky because
But
they
that wasn't
cheated.
your take.
They cheated.
That wasn't your take
If
either.
it was based off of just his ability, I wouldn't believe Tom Brady would ever win a Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl against the
that's
Rams with no
fine now,
touchdowns.
But you didn't say that in
He
2012.
ran it with no touchdowns.
In 2012,
the
you
Falcons
didn't, you
gave
didn't
him
go
the
on the air.
Super Bowl. I'm
You
just
didn't go on
saying.
the air in 2012 and say, if Tom Brady doesn't cheat, or if Tom Brady, he will not win another Super Bowl. You say he will not win another Super Bowl, period. And here we are, 10 years later, you're still trying to stick to that. Stop it. It's your turn to weigh in. Is Aaron Rodgers still an elite quarterback? What are your thoughts?
All right. And real quick, I guess there's John Heyman, the baseball writer from the New York Post, Chris, says that the Dodgers are clearing, they didn't give a contract to Cody Bellinger.
Right.
And they're clearing cap space and money for guess who? Aaron Judge. They are supposedly going to make a real run at Aaron Judge. That's the buzz in baseball. All right, let's get to the football.
From the West Coast.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Let's go to Ned in San Francisco. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Ned?
Hey, what's going on, fellas, man? Happy Thanksgiving or early Thanksgiving.
Yes, to you too.
Hey, I try not to let the numbers fool me. Not being no big Aaron Rodgers fan, I think he had a bad game last night, a bad season. When you see the touch he still puts on the ball, he's not washed, not yet.
Nobody said he's
getting there.
washed.
He's got to find that fire though. He's a little too calm for me, but I don't think he's washed.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Ned.
Let's bring Aaron Judge to the Giants.
Hey, he's from the Bay Area. I know the Giants want him. It's going to be crazy, Chris. He might get $400 million. He might. Bobby in Florida. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Bobby?
Hey, guys. I hope you guys have a nice Thanksgiving.
You too, Bobby. Thank you.
And Chris, I have to agree with you. And Rob, this isn't the first time we've talked about this. Stop it with the Brady hate. Come on, Aaron Rodgers.
Hey,
he's like
hold on, Bobby.
He can't win the big one.
Bobby.
He won once.
Bobby, don't tell me what I should say or what my opinion is, okay? You have yours on Tom Brady. I'll respect it and respectfully disagree. But don't tell me what I should say.
If you check Brady...
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said?
All his records.
Did you hear what I said? Yes or no?
Everything.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Bobby. Let's go to Drew in New Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
I think Aaron Rodgers is still elite. There's 3 quarterbacks that are elite. I think if people don't look at the whole scenario, they're not being honest. He doesn't have an Andy Reid. He doesn't have another number one option. Now, as far as him winning MVP,
LaFleur was great the last 3 years.
LaFleur.
In fact, Rodgers has struggled before LaFleur got there. His last couple seasons.
How was LaFleur as the Tennessee coordinator when he's an offensive coordinator?
I didn't bring that up. I'm saying as a head coach, they won 13 games, 3 straight years, and Rodgers won 2 straight MVPs. And when Devontae Adams wasn't there, it didn't matter. He went 7-0, and his numbers were crazy.
You got to have elite weapons, and that's what he doesn't have this year. He doesn't have it.
He didn't have to.
He doesn't have it. And if you don't have an offensive line, it's going to be very difficult.
His offensive line ain't that bad. You acting like he's running for his life.
And if you look at Allen has nothing but elite weapons, and so does Mahomes. You're going to have a chance.
Mahomes just lost his elite weapon. Tyreek Hill.
The best tight end in football belongs to the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? You can't say anybody on the Packers is the best of anything.
Just lost
the best of anything. Give me which guy's the best.
The top receiver in the league, arguably, and is rolling, is on pace to win another MVP.
Give me the guy who's close to Kelsey at the Packers. Okay. MJ in
What's
New
that
Orleans.
mean? Aaron Rodgers, when he was elite, didn't need that,
Fox
Rob.
Sports
That's
Radio.
the issue.
Okay, happy Harvest Day to the Odd Couple.
Yes,
to
you
guys,
too.
The staff, and shout out to my man Rob G. He is elite. Relax. He's the reigning MVP of the No Fun League. Packers, quarterback Aaron Rodgers was ranked number 3 just coming into the season. But let's point this out. There's some type of love-hate relationship between Aaron and the Me Packers because you have to look at the talent. No first round talent that they drafted in the drafts. And losing Devontae in free agency in the final hours, that was definitely something big. And the defense is always suspect. The offensive line is suspect. But, yes, he is still elite. And if you guys are going to put on the gloves, I'm going to have to take Rob Parker because he has that reach.
No gloves. We're good. It's just a sports talk show. Thanks, MJ. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.